So I have my drawing of a shoe. I didn't do a drawing, but you all have one. And that is my sweet looking shoe. Okay. Obviously yours looks much better than that one. But just for demonstration purposes. Now, what we're going to do with your contour line drawing you have, please do me a favor and listen up and don't talk because I get distracted when I hear you talking. With your contour drawing you have, on the blue container back here, there is a whole big pack of tracing paper. What we're going to do with that tracing paper is lay it on top of your shoe. It should be big enough to cover your entire shoe. If it doesn't, I apologize. There's an issue when I cut paper and it didn't work. You're going to take masking tape, a little piece. Don't take a full strip. Don't waste it. You're going to put a little bit, so it's barely on your tracing paper. Sorry. And you're going to wrap it around so it's barely on your shoe paper. You just don't want to rip it. Get it stuck and have it tear. Okay. And you see when I press down, you can obviously see through the tracing paper to the shoe below it. From there, you're going to use tracing paper the way it's meant to be used and trace your shoe. Okay. Make sure you get all the lines. Make sure you get all the detail that you have in your shoe. The reason I wanted you to go slow and take time is because you're going to have to actually do this a number of times. You have to do it, or you're going to have to recreate it 3 more times, okay? No, you don't have to worry about doing it in all one solid line like you did before. All you're doing is making sure that you're getting the whole thing on here. So I'm obviously doing this fast just for time purposes. But you want to get as much detail as you can. Okay, so now I have my paper, or my picture traced onto my tracing paper. Okay, now this is very important. Everybody stop talking and watch up here because this didn't happen in the last class. I have my shoe. This is exactly what I have on my original paper, right? What I'm going to do is take my tracing paper. Everybody listening? Okay. And I'm going to flip it over. Okay? Now you take your pencil and you're going to color over all the line, or the backside of all the line. So basically wherever my shoe is, wherever the paper lines are, I'm going to make it look all fuzzy. Okay? Essentially what we're doing right now is making transfer paper. Okay? You don't need to make it extremely thick. All you need to do is make sure that everywhere there is a pencil mark on the front side of it, make sure it has pencil lead on the back side. Okay? I'm not going to do the whole shoe, but essentially like that. See where my lines are? I covered over. Now, the next thing you're going to do is grab a new piece of paper, same size as when you do your shoe on. They're back there on the purple container. Okay? Grab a new piece. You're going to take your tracing paper right side up, the original way. Fuzzy sides on the back. This is the original one. And you're going to tape it back onto this new piece. Very similar to where your last one was. Okay? Everybody follow me so far?
Yes.
Good? Okay, thank you. Now, all I'm going to do is trace over my tracing that I have. So I'm going to start with laces. Push fairly hard. I'm not going to obviously rip through the paper. But I'm going to push hard, go over the shoelace right here. I'm going to come down here. Trace up top. I'm going to go to the top of my shoe. And along the back and the bottom. Okay, I'm doing my whole shoe. When I get done, I pick up the tracing paper. You will have a transfer. It should look exactly like your other drawing that you did, your original drawing. Okay, if you transferred it over correctly, if you trace along all the lines, it should look exactly like the first one. So does everybody understand that first part of it? Luckily, we have 82-minute periods.
Yes.
Okay, the last step of this one, the last step of this continuous line drawing we're doing you're gonna grab a pen. I have a bunch of black ones up here. They've all worked so far, but I really don't know what to expect. Some of them are older. If you prefer not to use a black pen, you can come up here in this box. I have color pens that you guys, I think, have already used. And I would recommend using a purple, blue, black, brown if you want. The lightest I would get to is a red, but don't use yellow, don't use green, don't use lighter colors. I want to keep it pretty dark.
Use white.
Come on. Okay, what you're going to do is I need to make this shoe into a continuous line. Kind of look at the detail you have, look at the shoelaces. I'm going to put some shoelaces on my shoe just so I can make a little more detail, just to show you how I'd get around that. And then I'm going to go like this too, and then put a crease across the middle of my sole. Okay, so if this is my shoe, I'm going to start at one point. You make sure I don't overlap, but I need to fill the rest of it in. So I'm going to start up here. And I come down the edge of my shoe. I make sure it's a nice, smooth line. And then I'm going to choose to come across my shoe here. Now I have an issue, because I need to get back over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to come down to the bottom of this and then come around, because I'm going to have to cross at some point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here. I'm going to cut across the middle of my shoe where this crease is that I can color on. Then I'm going to come up, and I'm going to come back down and around. So there's actually a gap over here now, but that's fine because it's showing that it goes up. Come along the bottom of this shoe here. And then when I come back up, I'm not going to cross over that black line. I'm going to keep it out. And I'm going to come this way. Now I have to get the shoelaces in. And this is hard because it's really detailed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the outside of it. This is the way I want to approach it. If you can make it work your way, do that. I'm going to come around, make sure I get the outline of all this shoe. And then I want to get some detail inside. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to come up. Come up. Come back along here. Now my shoe goes to my shoelaces. So to make sure it doesn't touch, I'm going to come up here first. Come around here. And I want it to be three-dimensional, so I'm going to make this shoelace thicker. And I'm going to come here. And then I'm going to go like this. Okay, so see that. But now I have an issue. Essentially it's trapped, right? I can't get out. I want to cross over. So what I'm going to have to do is go along here, come back, and be done. Okay? Now, that's why you want to plan it out, because you don't want to have a whole bunch of lines like that overlapping each other. You want to be a little more planned out. So really, once you get it transferred over, pay attention, look at your piece, look at your work, look at your laces, make sure all the lines are where you want them to be. Make sure you can have a plan to get through your work.